What's down, people, and welcome back to another episode of Ghetto Gospel. So where we left off at. Last week, we talked about Abraham trying to line up a shorty for his son, and how he made his right-hand man promise not to let his boy marry none of them local women. We also talked about how homeboy went back to Abraham's hometown to find Isaac a wife, and we left off right when he found a little chick, and now we caught up. So just like last week, we got a lot of ground to cover. It's probably gonna be another long one, but we gonna finish out the chapter this week. So we picking up at verse 29, and the first thing it say is that Rebekah had a brother named Laban. And as soon as he seen how Rebekah came back to the house dripped out and heard her story, he ran down to the well to see about homeboy. And Laban was like, "What's down with you, playboy? You blessed yet? What you doing standing out here? I done set the house up for you. I even got a spot for your camels." So Abraham's servant came to the house. The camels got unloaded and fed and whatnot. And they also brought some water to wash homeboy's feet and the men's feet that was with him. They fixed some plates for homeboy and his clique. So then he was like, "I ain't gonna eat nothing until y'all hear what I'm here for." And Laban was like, "What's on your mind, playboy?" And Abe's servant was like, "God done bless my master. He rich. God done gave him flocks and herds, silver and gold, slaves, camels, donkeys, the whole nine. Sarah even bust out a baby boy for him in her old age. And Abraham then gave him all of his stuff. And then he told him all about what Abraham asked him to do, and the promise, and finding him a daughter-in-law, and how he prayed, and then met Rebekah at the well and all of that. So then he was like, when she told me who her people was, I put that gold on her, and then I bowed down and had a little praise break. Then he was like, "So if you're gonna be kind and faithful to my master, say that. If not, say that too, and I'll go somewhere else." So Laban and his daddy was like, "Hey, God did. We ain't got no choice in the matter. Here she is right here. Take her and go. Let her be a wife for your master's son, just like God said." And when homeboy heard that, he had another little praise break. Then he pulled out even more stuff, silver and gold and clothes and whatnot, and gave them to Rebekah. And he also laced her brother and her mama too. So everybody ate and spent the night. But when they got up in the morning to head out, Laban and their mama was like, "Let her stay with us about 10 more days and then she could go." But Abraham's servant ain't get to be the right-hand man by just being no fool. He was like, "Don't hold up the mission now that it had been successful. Send me back to my master." And they was like, "Well then let's ask Rebekah if she really want to go then." After they done took all this drip that this man done gave out and agreed to let her go without even asking how she felt on the matter, now they want to get her opinion. So they asked Rebekah, and she ain't hesitate to chunk the deuces at her folks. And so they sent Rebekah away with her nurse that raised her and Abraham's servant and his entourage. They blessed her and wished her prosperity and buku kids and victory over their enemies and whatnot. And they all got up on the camels and headed out. So Isaac was on his way back to the seeing well. That's the well where God saved Ishmael and his mama, because he had been living down south. And he was out walking in the field when he saw the camels coming. So Rebekah looked up like, "Who that is?" And Abraham's servant was like, "That's my master." So she covered her face with her veil. Then the servant told Isaac everything that happened. And Isaac scooped up Rebekah, brought her to the tent that his mama used to stay in, took her as his wife, and loved her. And everybody lived happily ever after until next week's episode. So that's it for this one. If you feel like you missing something, you are. That stuff gonna be an extended cut that's dropping on Wednesday. If you don't know Jesus, but you trying to get to know him, check out that first link in the description down there. I'll see y'all then. And as always, peace, and I hope y'all people straight.